The starting lineups, and it's a very settled lineup for Heidelberg. They make no changes. It's Chris Theodorides in goal with Ruben Way, Stephen Pace, Luke Biles and Josh Wilkins in defence. In midfield, it's Adrian Zara with Paul O'Brien and Harry Noon. On the wings, it's Sean Ellis and Lucas Derrick with Tom Cahill up top. On the bench, it's backup keeper Brandon White with Peter Deng, Anthony Katanos, Luka Ninkovic and Christopher Dibb. For Hume City, it is Michael Weir with his heroics midweek, seeing them through to the national rounds of the FFA Cup with a back four of Giddy Sweet, Hayden Tennant, Paul Wilson and Mark Ochang, with Ben Bowler and Stephen Hewitt in midfield, with Theo Marcalis just in front of them. And it is the return of James Brown, who missed the midweek clash. He's in the starting lineup with Matthew Lazaridis and Marco Delic again leading the line. On the Hume bench, it's James Kaparanowski, Danny Dixon, Umut Buzdugan, and George Howard back on the bench, and also Thomas Harris, who dropped from the starting lineup. The youngster making his debut for Hume City is on the bench. We look towards the middle as both sides have a bit of a kick around. It's Adam Bavkar, the man in the middle, and the man in purple. As we get close to kick-off here at Olympic Village, my name is Chris Gleeson, and what a pleasure it is to introduce once again George Kotzanis back in for commentary with us tonight.
Good evening, Chris. Nice to be here with you again, mate.
And it's an absolute pleasure for what should really be a big game in NPL Victoria. Hume City have won their last 5 games in all competition up against Heidelberg United, who do sit just a little bit in front of them on the points table. But Heidelberg, this is their second last home game of the year. So if they're going to have a real challenge for the title, they're going to have to do it away. So a good opportunity for Hume City to get a few points and bunch up the gap with the top.
Yeah, well, look, two informed sides, and as you said, Hume, the informed side currently in the league. So it'll be good to see what they bring, especially since they played recently in a cup match. So I'm looking forward to this one.
And we are away at Olympic Village with Heidelberg kicking off. They are going to the left of screen. Lucas Derrick can't control it. The ball now finds its way to James Brown and Marco Delic. Loses out. It's Noon, Zara, Cahill. It's all very tight in that area. They find a little bit of room with the left foot of Ruben Way to cross it in. There should be big Michael Weirs, and that is a great take by the 22-year-old informed goalkeeper. But Hume now have an injury problem at the back with, looks like Paul Wilson is the one in quite a bit of pain. He felt the brunt of Michael Weirs' knee then.
I think he got the full knee in the head, or the side of the head there. It was a good clean take by the keeper, considering he was up high and there was collision. Cahill made a nuisance of himself.
And he really didn't know much about that. See, Paul Wilson, he got bumped by Cahill as Michael Weir was about to take it, and he's definitely taken a pretty severe knock to his head.
Yep.
He's been one of the most informed defenders so far this season. It's Paul Wilson, since crossing over from Adelaide United Youth. He's really shown the quality of a defender he is, and hopefully he can continue, but you always got to be a bit more careful with the head knocks.
Yeah, well, they're obviously going to take extra care. It looks, from this distance away, there may even be some bleeding there, but perhaps they're trying to cover that up and put a stop to it. But he certainly took a serious blow there, so they're going to have to get him off and get him checked and make sure he's okay. But not the great way to start the game for the young fella.
See, in the first minute, getting collided by your goalkeeper.
Friendly fire.
You can always see the confidence in a goalkeeper, Michael Weir, in the form that he has been in, and especially with the 3 big penalty saves in the cup competition, knocking out Oakley.
He's had a good week, hasn't he?
Yes, and then you can see the confidence of how he rose and really backed himself in the air, but unfortunately Paul Wilson has come off second best. But
it looked like they're calling for a sub 2 here, so he's not happy about it, Wilson, but I think they are getting a sub ready.
You see he's got protection over his face there. Maybe it's severe swelling and a bit of blood as well, but Morris Luna, Hume City's medico, will do all his best to try to keep him back onto the field as quick as he can. But Danny Dixon, who has started most games for Hume City, a little slight injury, lost his spot in the starting lineup to the youngster Hayden Tennant. So we'll wait to see what Hume City does with an early substitution, but in the end, Ochang will have to get it clear. Hume City down to 10 men for the moment. As Theodorides gets his first touch. Ben Bowler, who's moved into centre-back position for the moment, heads it forward. And you're going to really see the intent from Heidelberg trying to make the most of this advantage. Because Derek cuts inside and clips the ball in. That's very easy for Michael Weir. Hume still undecided with his substitution so far.
Yeah, no, look, a speedy start by Heidelberg. They look like they want to take the game to Hume, and obviously trying to knock balls in. That's the second cross that's come in. Not the best ball, that one, but they're certainly trying to attack from the outset here, Heidelberg.
Ball finds its way back to Theodorides. We are also live and interactive on Facebook, so you can always drop us a line and let us know what you think of NPL Victoria, the games, and let us know where you're watching from. We've had some very exotic places where people have been watching NPL Victoria all around the world. So now the ball goes out for another goal kick. Michael Weir will have to trot a good 20 yards behind the goal to go fetch it himself.
And very slowly, like a clever boy, giving Wilson every chance here to get maybe back on the pitch. So waste as much time as they can here, Hume. Be the clever way to do it and try and get back to 11 against 11. You don't want to be giving Heidelberg any advantage, or as small as it is at the moment, but
you've got to use every moment you can take him. Michael Weir's definitely done that.
Yep.
And in the end, he's put the ball back out on the running track again, but
that'll kill some time, don't worry.
Unfortunately for Hume, there was a ball ready to go, so...
Well, ball boys are ready. Home team.
Exactly right. It's amazing that the few sides that do have ball boys, how slow the ball comes back to the players when, especially when you've got a lead late in the game, or how quickly they give it back to you when you're chasing a lead. It's all part of the fun in NPL Victoria and football around the world. Stelic does well to block that. Lazaridis. First chance to run at the Heidelberg defence. Pace with a well-timed challenge, and now the counter-attack can be going the other way. Ball for Lucas Derrick with a smart run inside. Can go himself and Joe from range, but he drags it well wide. But the first look at the goals there for Lucas Derrick.
It certainly opened up for him there in the midfield, and he's looked to go across and cut inside both times he's had the ball, and happy to go onto his right foot, but he didn't really get much purchase on that, and it was a fair distance out, so it's going to take some strike to beat the keeper from there, but it opened up and it was well worth a shot for him.
As Michael Weir now goes ready to take the goal kick once again. Fortunately for Paul Wilson, he's a tough bugger, is Blocker Wilson.
Oh, he's going to give it a go, isn't he? He's not going to die wondering.
He's got the famous headband on now, and Hume City back to their full complement. As Alice heads it forward, he's Cahill looking for the overlapping run from Joshua Wilkins. Clips in the ball into the box. Ochang didn't really know what was behind him, and in the end, safety first. And Heidelberg have their first corner of the game.
Yeah, it was a nice cross in there. Good build-up play with Cahill involved, which Heidelberg always seem to get some ascendancy when Cahill is making a nuisance of himself and getting involved in the build-up play. The cross didn't find Alice. I think the timing of the run wasn't perfect there.
It's a chance for Lucas Derrick to whip in a right-footed delivery. Plenty of movement in the box. It's near post. Trying to flick it on with Stephen Pace, and all the defender's really done is clear it out.
Well, he's done that for a whole career, but that's not the end he wanted to be doing it at. Didn't sit nicely for him, and relief for Hume.
He has gotten on the score sheet this year, though, as Stephen Pace. A great finish against Avondale. This ball's left a bit short from Weir, but they get away with it. Theo Markellis spreads the play out wide. Sweet. Early ball in, looking for Brown. It's well headed away. Picking up Izara, and Ruben Way can't find Derrick, but in the end he's been able to pinch the ball off Markellis. And now they can move it out wide. It's Adrian Zara. How's the delivery? In the end it was well cleared away by Hume. Spin ball of the midfielder went back to help out his defence. In fact, it was Stephen Hewitt. And in the end,
Wilson's not well. He's gone down again. Players are calling for the ref to stop it.
Well, he's tried his best as Paul Wilson, but in the end, I think Danny Dixon will have to be the man to come on in the Hume defence. Wish Paul Wilson all the best, but you can't take any chances with head knocks.
No, and I think Cahill was calling for the ref to blow the whistle even when the ball was in play there. That just duty of care to his opposition, but obviously a fellow player, and he could see that he wasn't well, so he wanted the ball put out.
Does give us the opportunity just to go around the grounds. It is the 54th minute over at Kingston Heath. Bentley Greens with George Lambatarides the only goal in that game. Melbourne Knights are down to 10 men though, with Joey Franich with a studs up challenge, penalised in a straight red. And we've got Port Melbourne and Pascoe Vale. What a big contest that is at the wrong end of the table.
Yep.
That is just started. That's 7 minutes gone. It's 0-0. And Altona Magic nil, Dandenong Thunder nil. So Altona Magic with plenty of injury problems this season, and Dandenong Thunder have slipped into the relegation spot. So a big, all the games are big in NPL Victoria, but we're getting to about 10 games to go around that mark, or just under 10 games. And you can see the positions for finals and for the title and relegation spots. You can see those little groups opening up now.
Yeah, well, that's what you're fighting for, and that's the reality of having it. The promotion, relegation, and etc. There's games at stake, so there's not a lot of dead rubbers. And with Dandenong City's newfound form, and they're getting points and putting pressure on sides above them, that status quo that seemed to be just going through the first 8 to 10 weeks of the season no longer exists. The pressure's on. Dandenong City are picking up points. Thunder aren't. Kingston need to pull their socks up. Hume are becoming the form team in the league. So there's a lot of things. And as you said, Magic are fighting their way through injuries. Pascoe Vale are also hot and cold. So you just can't pick it in terms of form, but there's certainly always some interesting games going on.
We can just, as we wait for Paul Wilson to make his way to the sidelines, we can just quickly recap the scores that have gone past so far. And it was Dandenong City 2, Green Gully 2 last night. It was Alex Salmon with a chance to win the game with a penalty right at the end. You were at that game.
I was at that game.
And what a poor miss that was.
It wasn't the best miss, and I'm glad I didn't put any money on it. It was walking in, because I would have sworn that was 3 points in the bag at that point. It was about the 95th minute too. And strange. That's how I was not expecting Salmon to miss that.
So deadly in front of goal so far this season. Kingston City fought back from being 2 goals down to hit back late in the 81st and 83rd minute. Alfred Wade Decker from long range to curl it into the top corner. And poor old Kingston, now they're in quite deep relegation trouble. As Hume now make that substitution, Danny Dixon will replace Paul Wilson. We hope Blocker Wilson recovers quickly, but it was a nasty head knock between the challenge between him and goalkeeper Michael Weir coming out to collect a cross. So
safety first with the young fellas. Head injuries, got to look after him.
So Hume City restart the game. Ball back with Weir. Ball out wide, in fact too wide, and goes out for a Heidelberg throw. Michael Weir's kicking at the moment, just a little bit off.
Has been a little bit, hasn't it?
So now it's Stephen Pace. And Theodorides. Wilkins laid it back to Pace, and now it's another awkward ball for the keeper, who in the end has conceded a corner. So the linesman on the far side the side closest to us, have signalled. So
yeah, that back pass put him under a bit of pressure, didn't it? But he did the right thing, and he took his first touch, made sure he took it away from the goal and played safe. But it was a heavy first touch, and he's conceded a corner there.
Well, it's a gifted opportunity for Hume City. Can they make the most of it? Danny Dixon in position. Just came on, and that's the delivery, goes towards him, but in the end it's well headed away by Biles. Chasing after it. Can they keep it in play? Heidelberg, they can. Hume quick to get back and defend. Now Heidelberg. In the end they get a foul from the challenge on Sean Ellis, and they will get out of danger. Pressure's
Relieved. Cheap free kick. But, Heidelberg won't mind.
Theodorides will restart the game. It's been a very stop-start game so far, as you'd expect, with a couple of injury timeouts to Paul Wilson trying to continue, but hopefully we can get the game flowing now.
Hopefully. That speedy start Heidelberg threatened us with has not really come to fruition in the last 5 minutes. It has been, like you said, very stop-start. And that continues with the offside.
So Tom Cahill looks around and wasn't happy with the decision, but I don't think I've ever seen Tom Cahill happy with an offside decision anyway. So typical veteran striker. Now bowler. Chang's the target. In the end it will find him. Good challenge by Zara. Tennant just comes through and tries to clear it. Deflection comes off Heidelberg. Hume City throw. Looks like just to the side of us, Paul Wilson is... You believe that... Well, the ball almost hit him on the head then when the ball was thrown back in the crowd, but...
Almost expect that, wouldn't it? Murphy's Law, someone throws the ball in a pitch that's 400 square metres and at the head of a player with a head injury.
And Wilson's now making his way up the tunnel, so I should expect him to go get some... Hume City normally take no chances to get some medical treatment from one of the local doctors or hospitals. So at the moment it's Heidelberg, Lucas Derrick trying to get past Ochang. Ochang with the tackle and gets away with that one. Up the line, Brown can't control it, but gets the throw. This game's players, the ball staying really, really wide on the touchline of either side of the pitch so far.
No, neither side has really settled as yet. There hasn't been a lot of play through the central corridor at all by either of the sides. There's no midfielders in control yet. But it is definitely congested in the midfield, so going wide at this point makes reasonably good sense.
It will be Hume City with another throw. So I'm getting closer and closer to their attacking box. Ochang, Mark Callis. It's again turning in towards the box. Hume with another throw. Just unfortunately with our position here and the position of the benches, that you can lose the ball a little bit at this ground. Not the best vantage point, but we'll make do. This time it's out for a Heidelberg throw.
Well, we can always judge what we can't see. George Katsakis will be honest and he'll tell us what's going on down
Exactly
there.
Right. That's a good thing of having...
He'd never claim a ball that wasn't his, would he?
That's it. Well, George did tuck into a few of the kebabs at Hume City on Tuesday night. He would have been very happy to see Hume City have to play 120 minutes in that midweek cup game. It was, of course, Hume City who did knock Heidelberg out of the FFA Cup qualifying in a 5-4 thriller here when Hume City were 2-0 down in that game and kept fighting and scoring late to push it to extra time and then before finding the winner. Dalic. Great layoff by Dalic. Hume City drive forward. Here's a chance. Mark Callis, what a sliding challenge that was. And Ruben Way gets it clear. Derrick back into midfield. Ben Bowler. He's got Stephen Hewitt. He plays it out wide to Ochang with a dangerous cross in. Who can attack it? It's just over the top. Hume City with a golden opportunity to take the lead.
Well, had that first opportunity that fell to Mark Callis after it being slid through by Brown, and it was a great sliding, I think it was Ruben Way, I think they got across in there. Great defending there. And they couldn't clear it again, Heidelberg, and Hume did settle up again, got the ball out wide, and a great cross by Ocheng, and it looked like a diving header by Brown. Just couldn't get it on target, just couldn't get enough body over the ball and direct it on line.
His first real shot at anger directed really that looked close to scoring in this game. James Brown has been in excellent form for Hume City this season. This ball's going to find its way to Sweet. Slows things down with Dixon. Now Tennant will use his goalkeeper. Now Hewitt drops in between his two centre halves and clips it out to Ochang. First time ball's cut out by Ruben Way. Hume City do like to push the fullbacks very high in games. Ochang and Sweet will be pushed up very close towards the wingers when Hume City have possession. Although the camera won't be able to see it, Gideon Sweet, the left back, is already up towards the halfway line. Ball stays in play. Delic lays it to Bowler. In the end, they can't keep the ball in Heidelberg.
Bit congested there in the midfield, playing a bit tight, but Delic did well with his back to goal there, shielding it and holding it, but it did get a bit tight.
Now it's Brown. Flicks it over the top. Here's Delic trying to cut it back into the box. Chance for Marcellus to play it across. Lazaretti's is offside, and the shot come pass or was well wide as it was anyway.
They did work it well down the right wing. There was a nice flick by James Brown that put Delic through. It wasn't a great ball, but it fell well to Marcellus, who you would almost want to strike it from. He's got a decent shot on him, but he was unselfish, but he passed it to Lazaretti, so you couldn't hold the line, and just that fraction offside, which is unfortunate.
I think it was just that first touch from Theo Marcellus. Didn't really put it out in front of himself enough to step into the ball and have a strike, so because it was too close to him, he just thought he'd clip it over to his teammate. Now it's Brown. Once again, a very tight area to move in. Now it's Tennant. There will be another Hume City throw.
He's taken that creative slant now, Marcellus, because he's been playing in a more central number 10-ish role, and his creativity, or his ability to link up with teammates, is probably, and a bit of maturity as well. Sometimes you just want the boys to be selfish when it's on the edge of the box there. Take the responsibility.
Now it's Noon. Ball stays in play. Zara over the top. O'Brien. It's a high switching ball. Ellis will be good if he can control that. In the end, not touching it. Almost worked out. The old fake pass there. And then now Hume City. Lazaretti's, who's been busy early, over the top for Brown. He's got time to control it. Looking to find a teammate. Good challenge in the box, and Heidelberg will get it clear. In the end, it's scrappy, but it finds Alice. Now they go out wide. Sliding challenge comes in. Ball still alive for Heidelberg. And shouts from the Heidelberg crowd there. And they will get the foul.
Didn't seem to be a lot in it. He seemed to be crossing the ball and the defender seemed to block it. But we are a fair way away, so.
See that the Heidelberg crowd were really unhappy with that. Sticks him with the initial challenge. And then just a good shoulder to the back. Trying to go shoulder to shoulder, but mistimed that challenge. And now Heidelberg have a set piece delivery of their own. It's Noon, who's been in red hot goal scoring form this season with Cahill, both with 6 goals. Can any of them find a 7th? In the end, it's Lazaretti's who gets it clear at the near post. Alice will get it back again. In the end, Biles and Theodoridis. Good communication. Now the ball's found Lucas Derrick. Pass is ill-directed. Now Sweet, just straight ball over the top. One for Delic to chase. He will get there. And then he's forced wide, and Heidelberg in the end defend that pretty well. Ball finds Noon. Theodoridis will get it clear. This game's just opening up a little bit in the last 5 or so minutes.
A few more gaps appearing in the midfield.
Marcellus tried to find a teammate. Goes out for Heidelberg throw.
Lazaridis has played a couple of good through balls one to Delic and the earlier one to Brown. Both been held up by Heidelberg defenders, but passing range on Lazaridis is good, and certainly helping stretch the defence for Heidelberg.
So Lazaridis is the one who battles with that one in the air. Be interesting to see how long Lazaridis does go in this game. He has had a bit of a flu the last few days, and if Hume didn't have a few players out, probably would have been a bench player today. That's a dangerous cross for Cahill, and in the end Cahill's put it over the top. Just couldn't get that little deflection that he was after, and got too much of a connection, and over the top it goes.
Yeah, no, it was classic Ellis cutting in onto his back onto his left foot, and a great angle on the pass, but Cahill was just stretching and he just couldn't get enough on it. He was just reaching, and couldn't probably just direct it the best he could, looking for a deflection, but always stretching and just out of that range. But it was a beautiful ball in.
It's right on the money there, because it was just outside the 6-yard box, and really Michael Weir really couldn't come and collect that. It was hit with such whip on the cross.
Yeah, between defender and the goalkeeper in that area, that the defender doesn't want to go back, the keeper's not sure if he's coming out, and just, perfect luck for that on running forward. But unfortunately for Cahill, he just, he was probably half a step behind where he'd love to have been.
It's a great switching ball for Hume if it sits for Ochang. It does. Now Brown tries to turn himself. Now Ochang. Chance to try to cross it in. Once again, Heidelberg defend it well. The ball finds its way to Adrian Zara. Cross midfield. Alice turns away from Lazaridis and looking for Wilkins. It's cut out by Sweet. Hume look to move into attack. Marcellus and now Stephen Hewitt. Now Brown, who comes central. It's good work by Hume City at the moment. Now the ball finds its way out wide. Marko Dalic goes to the byline and really fires it in. Marcellus got his foot up there. It was deflected away from him, and Alice gets it clear. And now it finds its way to Zara. Ball forward. They keep the ball alive, Heidelberg. What can they make of it? Not too much with that ill-directed pass.
Well, they had the advantage. Referee played the advantage, but with Zara being the man pushed down, Cahill was left one out on his own against 3-4 defenders and was forced to go back, so they didn't really get a decent advantage there.
Just having a look at that, it is basically 2-on-2. Ochang clearly went through the back of Adrian Zara. I've seen yellow cards paid for that, for slowing attacking play up. In the end, Adam Bafkar just tried to get the game going, but no cards. That's Stephen Hewitt, the Englishman. One of many Brits in this Hume City side. Brown. Hewitt was caught slightly late by Harry Noon. In the end, the referee wants the ball played back exactly where the foul was. We've seen with Hume City the goals of James Brown, but Stephen Hewitt's really set up quite a lot of the goals and attacks in Hume City this season. It's on the ball now. Dalic switches it out. Here's a chance for Marcellus to strike. He goes, Theo Marcellus, just in front of Theodorides. It comes back to Brown, and Theodorides does well to collect that one.
Well, the sharp passing again from Hume in the midfield, and they're prepared to wait till the forward pass appears as they go forward again.
And it is Brown. Pace well positioned, gets it clear. Only one in midfield there is Ben Bowler for Hume. It's very tight in this area. All Heidelberg have to do is just keep clearing, but ball keeps finding a red shirt. Great pass by Hewitt will find Sweet. Now Lazaridis. In fact, it's Marcellus skipping away from a challenge. And Hume City wanted the advantage, but the foul's being paid.
They were just going back again. It did fall to Marcellus on the edge of the box, and he was able to shift it from under his feet, unlike the previous time when you mentioned, and it gave him that opportunity to get it. And he loves the dipping shot. He's a specialist at that, and he kept it well, and he kept it low. But the keeper got good body behind it and good save. But on a wet ground, he needs to parry and make sure that he keeps it away from the rebounding. But they're certainly putting together some good passing in the midfield now, and that's creating some chances for them.
See that Hume City have really passed the ball around well, and Heidelberg do look dangerous on their counter-attack, so different styles in between the two sides so far. And to wait for Hume City. Danny Dixon, is, before turning into a centre-back, was quite capable from this sort of range as an attacking winger. Stephen Hewitt and Giddy Sweet, the left foot option. In the end, it will be Dixon. Danny Dixon, Theodorides was able to get it away from the top corner. It's still alive. Back post. Headed away from Brown. Finds Zara. Hasn't got much options in front of him. So goes back, and Ruben Way just up the pitch.
Very well hit free kick by Dixon. On target, going for that right-hand top corner of the keeper. But it was a brilliant save by Theodorides. Needed to get behind it, and he did so well.
Heavy touch from Brown, and it will be deflected back off him, so Heidelberg will get the throw.
So that's what's the third or fourth scoring chance in the last few minutes for Hume. So they're certainly controlling the midfield and creating chances on the back of it.
Well, it's been a fairly strong home form from Heidelberg, but the last couple of home games they've had a draw against Green Gully and then the loss against South Melbourne. So home form's waning just a little bit. As we said, they've only got one more home game for the season after this, which is in a couple of weeks against the Oakley Cannons. And then they've got to be trying to chase a title from behind, as this ball's going to find its way to Brown. His numbers now get into the box. Brown cuts it back in himself. Trying to lay it in, and well positioned there was Biles. Heidelberg get it clear. Just the passing's causing a lot of problems for Heidelberg at the moment.
Yeah, well, he was quick to get on the end of that long ball, Brown, and then cutting in on his left. But his final pass into the box wasn't great. Didn't get past the first defender. He'd be disappointed with that final pass.
Stalic keeps it alive, and the first time volleys over the top. Hume City with another well-worked move. It was Matthew Lazaridis. It fell to his right foot, not his left foot.
It was well nodded down by, I think it was Dalic on the edge of the box. Nice header, and it fell sweetly onto his right foot, but he just couldn't get it on target, couldn't get 100% control of it. But another great move again by Hume. Very unlucky, and another opportunity. They're certainly knocking on the door now, aren't they?
They certainly are. It's been a good 10 minutes from Hume City. Ever since that Tom Cahill gilted chance from just inside the box. So both sides really have had their chances. Now it's Heidelberg trying to attack, but Hume get it clear. Delic will chase it down, but Theodorides will be able to collect it in his box. And just around the grounds, Dandenong Thunder have taken the lead against Altona Magic. The goal in the 24th minute. They're 30 minutes into that game. 77 minutes gone. Bentley Greens are making the most of the 10-man Melbourne Knights. They are now 3-0 up. And it's still 0-0 between Port Melbourne and Pascoe Vale after half an hour, as Ellis is offside.
Well, Knights didn't need to be down to 10 men when they've had a midweek game. That's probably not going to help, so that's played into Bentley's hands.
They're making full use of that. And on the live ladder, they will move within 2 points of Avondale, who have the trip to South Melbourne tomorrow, who have been in pretty good league form. They have knocked off Heidelberg and Bentley within the last month of South Melbourne but they have had a short week with that loss against the Knights in the Cup. So I know if you're not an Avondale fan and you want the league to bunch up and get a bit closer, you're sort of hoping South get the job done tomorrow. But as Ellis is trying to keep that alive, and he does. Wilkins looking for Cahill over the top. Ball still in the box. Here's a turn, and here's the first goal of the game. It is Heidelberg United, and I think it's Paul O'Brien who gets the goal. for his second goal of the season. It's Paul O'Brien, found himself in the box and a little swivel and a turn, and he powered it with a left foot volley past the goalkeeper, and Hume City find themselves behind, and it is Heidelberg United who take the lead, and it is Paul O'Brien.
It was good work down the right wing by Alice, kept it alive, crossed in by Wilkins, and Cahill in a sandwich managed to keep it alive, got it across the box, and Derek again kept it alive with another knock on, and it just fell, and he used his body well, O'Brien, and managed to swivel, and from there you're always going to back the forward with the ball. It's just sitting up nicely for him, so it was a very good finish and a good team goal by Heidelberg, probably against the run of play.
Well, it's his 51st game, Paul O'Brien, in a Heidelberg shirt. He's won 6 trophies in that time, such has been the dominance of Heidelberg as they go forward again through Harry Noon, trying to go himself. And in the end, Michael Weir did get a hand to that.
He did. Great save by the keeper. It needed to be done. They gave the ball away at the back there. Hume trying to play out from the back. Well won by Noon. He anticipated and pounced.
See him, he just stalked Danny Dixon before making the challenge.
Dixon hesitated just enough and Noon was all over it. That's a good shot, good save. Certainly a momentum swing after the goal.
Well, a little lapse in concentration from Hume. Can Heidelberg double their lead? That's a dangerous ball into the box. But Lazaridis again at the near post, gets it clear. O'Brien looking to find Alice, and Lazaridis cuts it out again as Hume looked to counter. The ball's deflected out wide and will go out for a Hume throw. Delic wanted it over the top quickly, and in the end no real option, so Lazaridis will leave it for his left back in Sweet. Such a excellent finish from Paul O'Brien. As you said, he used the body well to find that little bit of room to swivel. And from that range, as soon as he hit the corner, Michael Weir really had no choice.
Yeah, good finish. Very clinical. So he needed to be street smart and just let it roll across his body. And once it sat up for him like that, from that range, it was going to be a shocker for a miss from there. He took it well.
So he's the champions in the lead. Ball finds its way to Reuben Way. See the confidence build, and now it's O'Brien on the ball again. Biles. Now Heidelberg get the chance to have a few neat passes. In the end, it looks like it's going to deflect its way to Lucas Derrick. Now he's got Zara. Can cut inside Zara. Back post. Here's Cahill. It almost found its way through to Alice, and the diving header from Cahill just lacked the power needed.
Well, it was a great pass in from Zara, but it was just a chip pass, and there wasn't enough pace on it really for a power header from the edge of the box. There was nothing to work with for Cahill. He probably best advised to maybe even let it drop and bring it down and try and hit it with a shot, but it was just too hard for him to try and get a deflected header on that one.
Well, look at the big centre-back Biles turning back the clock to Noon. Edge of the box. Alice! Straight into the gloves of Michael Weir, but I like the idea of flicking it up to himself and smashing the volley.
Very creative. He's got the ability and he used his skill there. His first touch to flick it, but I think the defender just got enough of a toe poke on that just while he was trying to block it to take some pace off it. But Hume again, indecisive at the back, and they've almost let Heidelberg back in.
And Paul's going to go out for a Heidelberg throw. I thought young Hayden Tennant could have kept that alive, but sort of expected the throw to go to Hume and lets it go out. But Michael Weir trying to play it out from the back with a little throw. Just real miscommunication.
Got away with one, I think, there, Hume.
It's been a sloppy 5 to 10 minutes after conceding from Hume City. Heidelberg push for a second goal, but the ball finds its way to Michael Weir. Been called all sorts of things, Michael Weir, in commentary this year. I get a message off his mother every time somebody calls him Wire or Weyer or anything else, and she thought maybe I might change his name to Smith, but we continue. And it's Lazaridis. Crosses back post. It's back alive at side netting. And it looked like James Brown at the back post. fact, it wasn't James Brown, it was Marco Dalic, and it goes side netting.
It was a great ball in by Lazaridis. Whipped it across to the far post and took the defenders and the keeper way out of the equation. But it was probably just that yard too deep for Dalic to be able to get it back across the goal line. But it really was a great ball in.
He also had Brown and Mark Callis there. If he could have been able to keep the ball alive like Heidelberg did for their goal, but in the end the ball hits the side netting, and Theodorides restarts the game. It's Mark Callis again for Hume. Theodorides off his line and does well to clear it out for a throw.
Nice ball by Mark Callis, but it's going to be tight with a lot of pace on that ball. Keeper was always going to be the favourite to get there.
So Chang to throw it back in for Hume. So heading close to the half-time break in this game. So Adam Bavkar tells Mark Chang to go back a few yards before throwing it in. So I'm short to Lazaridis, and Hume go back to Tennant. Trying to fire it up the line for Brown. Gang trying to flick the ball onto a teammate, but was unable to on that occasion. There's one thing that was very noticeable in the league game when, as soon as Heidelberg took the league in that 2-1 victory against Hume City early in the season, they sat their numbers back behind the ball without Hume really having much of a target man. Well, they do have George Howard this time on the bench, but Hume find it very hard to break down sides once they sit back behind the ball. Their best chances this season and scoring this season has been on the counter-attack.
Yeah, look, and they certainly move the ball quick through midfield, and that's their strength, and they seem to be able to get some chances, and they've created enough chances in this half to have 1, 2, 3, 4 goals, and they just haven't taken them. But what they will find, obviously, with a strong Heidelberg is Heidelberg will sit the 2 lines of 4 there and are prepared to sit back and be patient and be strong and whatever. But they've got to take their chances when they arise, and at this point, Hume are probably guilty of just not taking their chances.
Well, there's an opportunity for another chance for Heidelberg, though, as Ruben Way is on set-piece duties. Into the box. Once again, kept alive. Weir keeps it out. Who can get to the follow-up? In the end, Hume get it clear. Mark Callis around the corner. As Dalic trying to find a teammate in Sweet. Big save from Michael Weir and all of that. I think he denied Paul O'Brien. As Hume go over the top. Chang. It's headed away from him.
Yeah. Kale kept it alive, and it was Zara with the close range, and then Derek just the rebound found to Derek on the edge of the 6-yard box, but he just got no purchase or power behind his shot. So really a missed opportunity for Heidelberg. But once again, Kale winning a header in the box, keeping it alive by going across the box. Zara did everything well. He guided his header to it, but that was a terrific save by Weir. Absolute screamer of a save.
We're definitely starting to see the loss of Paul O'Brien in this Hume City lineup, who has been their best at clearing the ball, and without his presence in the back after going off with a head injury early in this game. We've seen youngster Hayden Tennant joined by Danny Dixon. There's Derek.
Yeah, they're looking good up front, Hume, and they're creating chances, but they're looking vulnerable at the back as well. Every time Heidelberg seem to get a ball in the box now, that's causing them some headaches, and plus there's that little bit of uncertainty that we've seen as well with the communication or the hesitation. So they're a bit nervous at the back, and that's probably because they didn't take their chances, and they're starting to feel the pressure of trying to chase the game now.
Definitely looks like it's more likely for a Heidelberg second than a Hume equaliser, as Alice, back post, it evades Cahill. Reverse pass for Wilkins. Into the box, and Hume City eventually get it clear for another throw. As Heidelberg now get the opportunity to push their fullbacks high up the pitch.
Try and plant their numbers forward and try and create some possession and some continued attack.
Another cross into the box. Cahill. Hume will now be able to get it clear through Hewitt. Brown trying to head it back into midfield. It's only found its way to Biles. His clearance, and Sweet, that was a heavy touch. Noon. It's got two Hume players around him. In the end, he loses out. Bowler Nice sliding challenge in from Heidelberg, but Hume through Hewitt. So we just see how Heidelberg are fighting for every single ball at the moment. Hume in the midfield eventually give it up. Derek. Inside Ochang, who puts the body block on and gives away a foul.
Yeah, easy decision for the referee, that one. And certainly the ascendancy with Heidelberg at the moment, and they're trying to make the play very much like they did in those first couple of minutes before the game was disrupted. And I think it's back, they're getting the game played on their terms at the moment.
Now they've got another opportunity. They almost got their second goal only a few minutes ago from this range from across from Ruben Way. He gets another chance to clip it into the box. In the end, it doesn't clear the men on the edge of the box. Ball comes back into Noon. Now Ruben Way is dangerous from this distance, but in the end, try to cross it into the box, and again Hume get it clear, and you see that Hume will be happy just to get to half-time now.
I think so. Look, Heidelberg are starting to cross at will and put in some pretty decent balls into areas that are causing Hume a lot of problems, because Cale is busy. He's causing a nuisance to the two central defenders, and the other Heidelberg's players are feeding off that, and there's numbers in the box when the ball's going in, so it's not just trying to spot one man, they're getting numbers in, so they're really searching for this second.
Well, Cahill once again with the header back alive, and then I think it was Stephen Pace who tried to swivel and shoot. So again, Hume City not dealing with it in the air.
Look, it's predictable what Heidelberg do, whether it's a long throw or some good crosses towards Cale, but he causes a nuisance. He's a havoc in there, and the opposition just don't know what to do. And it either falls for him or falls for a teammate, and it nearly did there for Stephen Pace, and unfortunately he couldn't hook it on target. It was just wide.
What is it with Cahill's in the air, you know, for their size and how...
Well, he uses his body well, and he's got presence as well. But he's hard to shift, yeah. He's hard to shift.
Now it's Biles. Slip from Zara. Tennant away. Dalic. Pace will mop up. In the end, the only option he really had was to put it out for a throw. Hewitt looked to want to take quickly. There'll be 5 minutes of stoppage time to go. As we said, we've had a couple of injury breaks for Paul Wilson for Hume City, who went off with a head knock in this game. Dalic was trying to find a corner to his teammate. In the end, Heidelberg get it clear. Zara, busy as always. In the end, it had to be the third Hume player to come across in Tennant to get it out.
Yeah, in traffic he did well there, Zara. He's won the throw-in, but it did take three to come across and dispossess him of the ball.
The ball really did thunder into that Heidelberg bench, so Jeff Olver got a bit of goalkeeping sort of practice there for him on his chair.
Jeff would have caught it cleanly.
So Chang up the line. Ruben Way. You see the idea of trying to switch it, but Sweet cuts it out. Bowler back to Dixon. And Pace will have to scamper to get to this first. He's in a race with Lazaridis, who got there first, and he will get the foul. And Stephen Pace, I believe, yes, he will. He will get a yellow card for that.
I think the fair description is late. No argument really from Stephen Pace on that one.
Well, in the end, when he realised he wasn't going to get there first, he really had to make sure that Lazaridis didn't get past him. So,
yep, took one for the team, I think, there.
So Hume City with a late set piece of their own. They have had they did come close from a James Brown header earlier in this game. In the end, Theodoretti's goal has pretty much been not really under attack. What can they do from this delivery? To wait for the referee, Adam Bavkar. So now the ball will come in. Heidelberg, once again, the delivery doesn't get past the near post, and that'll be a very simple foul.
It wasn't a great ball in, didn't get really past that first defender. He had enough time to set something up there with the whipping cross, but doesn't get past that first line of defence.
Hume City will get another opportunity to deliver into the box.
Take two.
As they try to chase a late equaliser here in the first half, and that's a delivery too close to Theodoridis this time, and he collects.
Well over the first line of defence, but way too deep on this occasion. So somewhere in between that is a good area to hit, but they've wasted two dead ball situations there, Hume, in extra time of this first half.
Stephen Hewitt just not getting the range right. He'd be very frustrated if he was out on the golf course.
Yes.
It's now it's Zara. Trying to keep it in the corner, and in the end goes out for a goal kick.
Nice and easily jockeyed him over the line, waited for the mistake, and Zara just ran out of real estate, didn't he?
It's Michael Weir, who has kept 6 clean sheets for Hume City in the league this season. That was well broken by Paul O'Brien in this first half. Theodoridis has also kept 6 for Heidelberg. Over the top. Of course, Michael Weir and Theodoridis are the last 2 goalkeepers to score in NPL Victoria 2, with Theodoridis from the penalty spot a few times last year and once this year, and Michael Weir in his first ever game for Hume City almost 3 years ago against the Knights, getting a 97th minute equaliser. Pull that wide, Derek.
I'm just super impressed with your stats there.
I remember that was the first time I was practicing commentary behind that goal, and I think I called him Weir as well too when I was practicing. So seen some weird things happen in NPL Victoria. As now it's Heidelberg. Hume City leave it a little bit short. Zara's going to find Cahill. Needs to find some support, so turns back. Derek. Great shifting of the feet. Trying to get into the box, and in the end, Hume City get it out for a throw.
Yeah, I really love the way Cahill plays to his strengths. Zara put him through, but he wasn't prepared to just take on the first defender and go and run at him, because it's not his strength. He held up, he turned, he shielded, waited for a teammate to support. Just plays the percentage as well, plays to his strengths, and keeps his team alive at every opportunity.
Zara.
And guess who?
And in the end, it will be half-time here. As Cahill wins another header.
Amongst 4 Hume defenders, Cahill wins another header.
He's causing them all sorts of problems here in the air in the first half, and it's his sort of effort in the air that found the ball over to Paul O'Brien, who was able to swivel and score the opening goal in this game. Hume City did have their chances in this first half, but in the end did not make the most of it. But it was Heidelberg who did with their chance, and Paul O'Brien with his second goal of the season. It is Heidelberg United 1, Hume City 1. What are your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I think it was a scrappy start of the injury blow early to Wilson. Obviously, there was a lot of stop-start. But once Hume settled, and I thought they settled first, and they started to create some chances. And I'd be disappointed that Marcellus, he got one on target, keeper saved it comfortably. And Lazaridis had the volley that, could have been a worldie, but just went wide. But from that point on, Heidelberg took control, and then they had the opportunity where Alice knocked that beautiful cross in, but Cahill was stretching, but it just seemed to open up the appetite, and then they just seemed to get on top, and then it became cross after cross after cross, and which led to the O'Brien goal again, and good work by Cahill, who I think probably, to be fair, has probably been the most outstanding player on the park for the first 45 minutes.
Well, it's 3rd versus 4th here at Olympic Village. It is Heidelberg 1, Hume City 0. Both sides have had 6 shots on target, 6 shots and 3 both on target. So we'll be back here shortly for the second half from Olympic Village after a short break. The audio. Hello everybody and welcome back here for the second half at Olympic Village. A first half that saw Paul O'Brien open the scoring with an excellent swiveled volleyed finish with his left foot that really gave Michael Weir no chance. It was Tom Cahill who's caused so much problems for Hume City in the air of this game, with Paul Wilson going off with an injury with a serious head knock. Hopefully he is okay, but obviously will play no further part. Hume City did have their chances in this game and had a good 20-minute spell where they were well on top, but in the end they find themselves behind, and we're about to go for the second half here. My name is Chris Gleeson. George Kotsanis, welcome back for the second half.
Looking forward to this, Chris. Really exciting first half, and I'm hoping for plenty of the same for the second.
As the referee Adam Bavkar now adjusts his watch, it will be Hume City to kick off, and they do. The ball's played forward early. Hewitt trying to switch it. Ellis cut that one out. He'll get the ball back. Trying to turn away from trouble. And in the end, it was a nice turn, but the referee's paid the foul. Unfortunately for him, he was a few yards forward from where the foul took place, so the referee wouldn't allow him to take it quickly.
Well, the pass wasn't that great either, so it's probably not a bad thing that he's got to get a second chance at it.
So as we said, Hume City had a lot of confidence with their passing, had some nice movements, a couple of dangerous balls in the box, but didn't capitalise. And then from that moment, it was a dangerous cross that came in that was kept alive by a few Heidelberg players before Paul O'Brien finished. Since that spot, Hume City lost a bit of confidence and Heidelberg really took control, and in the end put through plenty of crosses and throws into the box that caused all sorts of problems for the Hume defence.
Yeah, look, they certainly didn't take their chances, and that's all they were guilty of. They played well for the first part of that first half. Hume didn't capitalise at all, and Heidelberg did, and that was it. Once Heidelberg took ascendancy, they took their chance, and that's the difference really, and that's that clinical finish by O'Brien. But once they got on top, Heidelberg, they were determined to keep knocking balls in, and that aerial presence, despite him not being a huge man, but Cale, his presence, physical presence, they tried to milk that right to the end, and it gives you good value. And that's why Heidelberg are currently 1-0 up, and with a chance now with Ellis to knock in a nice left footer. Let's see what they can create from this opportunity.
Well, it's going to take some sort of a strike to beat Michael Weir from this sort of range. We'll see if he's going to go direct or try to clip it into the back post. In the end, Hume City taking no chances with a 5-man wall. Stephen Pace is trying to be a nuisance in. And also at the edge of the box too, Harry Noon. So I think he's going to go direct with both of those players in the wall. He does go direct. It bounces in front of Michael Weir, but he collects.
Yeah, it was well directed. It was on target, but at a good height and a good pace for the keeper. It really didn't trouble him. Weir had that certainly covered easily.
Now it's Tennant. Up the line, looking for Dalic. Ball headed back in. Hume City through Brown. Can't keep it in. In fact, they have been able to keep it in on that far side, but Heidelberg look to come away with the ball. As Ruben Way plays it up the line. Tennant will just watch the ball go out. There will be a Hume City goal kick. So now Michael Weir is going to tell his side to push up the field. He's not going to try going short like he did a few times in the first half.
No, they've toyed with danger there a few times, and I think it's best to play safe and get it further up the pitch.
That's exactly what he does. Getting the dominance in air from Heidelberg. Sweet heads it back now. Stephen Hewitt. Dalic just lays it into the path of Ochang. Good covering challenge by Paul O'Brien. Sees it out. In fact, it deflected off Hume, so Heidelberg get this throw.
Good discipline defending. O'Brien was prepared to stand up and run with the opposition player and waited for the error.
We've seen that transition this year too, where Paul O'Brien's, he's played, this is 51st game for Heidelberg. He He's been more of a bench player, been used as a fullback, a bit of midfield, mainly because of that partnership of Harry Noon and Jack Petrie have really been carrying this Heidelberg side in midfield, and Adrian Zara coming in there as well. So O'Brien's found opportunities lacking a little bit for Heidelberg with the injury and suspension problems that Jack Petrie's had this year. It's given him a great opportunity in the team.
Yeah, and look, he seems to be really comfortable in there, and his presence is good. He's does his defensive duties when need, and as we saw, he's willing to get on the end of things in the box as well. So it gives you something going forward, gives you something going back, which is perfect.
As Heidelberg now flick the ball on again. Zara loses out. Hewitt for the 1-2. Once again, just the hard work of Heidelberg. Get it back. Zara trying to shield the ball. In the end, it goes out for Hume throw. Gives us a chance to just quickly go through scores around the grounds. Bentley Greens have recorded a 4-0 victory over the Melbourne Knights, and all those 4 goals were scored after the 41st minute red card to Joey Franjic, where Lem Bataridis with 2, youngster from Perth Steins with a goal, and Mitrovic as Hume move it now forward. And the ball is ill-directed, and Theodoridis does collect. So a 4-0 victory for Bentley. And currently in the 52nd minute mark, Altona's got a second half goal back. It is Dandenong Thunder with an away 2 goals and Altona 1. And it is Port Melbourne leading Pascoe by 2 goals to 0, which on the live ladder sees Pascoe drop now into the relegation spots with Kingston.
Yeah, dangerous game. We said Pascoe were playing for important stakes there, and that 2-0 scoreline is not helping them at all.
And also, just quickly while we wait for Hume City to take their throw, in FFA Cup qualifiers, throw it Athena 1, Sorrento 1, and that is in extra time. So we saw a couple of NPL Victoria clubs in Melbourne Knights and Hume City make that FFA Cup. There'll be more midweek cup football next week to see who the other 2 entrants are. As we wait for Hume City now to have this corner. Ball into the near post. It's flicked on. Pace doesn't get it completely clear, but luckily it finds its way to Derek at the edge of the box, and he can motor away. In the end, it was a great challenge from Ochang, and sees it out for a throw.
Yeah. That corner seemed to hit a Heidelberg defender on the back and head towards goals, but Pace did clear it. Wasn't a convincing clearance, but enough to get it away.
Hume City had nobody on the edge of the box waiting to step in and fire that towards the goal. And Hume headed out wide. Bowler trying to keep it in play. He can't. Heidelberg now they got another chance through Joshua Wilkins to launch this into the box towards Cahill. Try to cause a bit more chaos. It's a little bit Stoke City-like with the old Rory Delap, and in fact, Wilkins just in the end goes short. Let's see if he'll go long this time, but it's mightily effective, Heidelberg, this tactic. They use the running track too, because you can actually take a few extra steps before launching it.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd go 2 short throw-ins in a row. Not that part of the ground.
You know who his target's going to be, but in the end, ball finds Sweet. Wilkins, that's a ball back into the box. Hume trying to get it clear. Marco Dalic. And tackle from Pace, but in the end it's going to deflect its way to Lazaridis. Heidelberg trying to scamper back in defence. Lazaridis trying to turn onto the left foot. And in the end, he couldn't evade that sliding challenge, but that is a very late challenge in midfield from Harry Noon. And Harry Noon will get a yellow card. And that will be Harry Noon's 5th yellow card of the season as well. So
he's got a rest next week, has he?
Looks like he will be having a rest, will Harry?
Yeah. Well, it was a lucky break for Hume, but once Lazaridis found himself on the ball, his acceleration and speed and close ball control had Heidelberg on the back foot. But once he came across the midfield, Noon was having none of it. There was no chasing, there was no discipline. He was going to bring him down. So it's an opportunity here again for Hume and Hewitt to launch a decent cross into the box. So
Hewitt didn't quite get his range right in the first half.
No, he didn't.
So as we use that golf analogy, straight back to the tee.
Yeah, he went one short and one long towards that extra time period of the first half, which I'm sure he would want those back again. And this is now his opportunity really to make amends. So just hit a good spot.
See if he can find the green.
Well, get the defenders backtracking and the goalkeeper in two minds.
That one's right on the money towards Brown as well, headed away by Heidelberg. Marcellus will try to scamper to keep it in. And in the end, he almost took out the photographer. Heidelberg get the throw and get out of danger. As we said, we are live and interactive on Facebook. For those who want to comment through, Cahill trying to play it up the line. Hume through Tennant, get it clear. Noon, neat turn away. In the end, he saw the opportunity to try to chip Michael Weir, but was quick to get back off his line, but that sliced it out wide.
Well, 10 out of 10 for vision and scope, but certainly his execution wasn't anywhere near 10 out of 10. Way off the mark, and with a tall keeper like that, it needed to be almost inch perfect, and it wasn't. But it's worth a try.
It's not many players have chipped Michael Weir, but Theo Marcellus at Dandenong Thunder last year was one of the few players to manage to do it. When he come back to Horny's old club, which he left for a year, and scored 2 goals in I think it was a 4-0 victory that night. Now it's Zara. Around the corner, Lucas Derrick. Trying to cross it in, and in the end it already went out before it come off sweet, so Hume City goal kick.
The linesman was right there on the spot. It was a good idea by Zara to try and put Derrick through, but they just ran out of space there. The linesman didn't hesitate.
It was a big decision in that midweek cup game against Hume City, where they thought they had the ball over the line, where Honos was able to make the save, but the fourth official didn't flag for the goal. But in the end, Hume City photographer Bullen Yontum was able to get a photo of the perfect position, was able to show everyone in the crowd that the ball did not cross the line. So it was an excellent photograph, and at halftime even the linesman was able to see that, and he had a big smile on his face where...
I bet he did.
He believed that he got it right. I spoke to him after the game. He believed he got it right, but once the crowd gets on your back, you always have that little bit of self-doubt. So,
oh, absolutely, yeah.
So it was an excellent decision made, an excellent photography. It's Heidelberg through Noon. Derrick trying to use his trickery again. Get it towards the edge of the box. Alice always wanted to get it onto that left foot. Hume City dropping deeper and deeper as Way has kept it towards Alice, who curls it, and Michael Weir with a strong hand taps it over the bar.
Well, Heidelberg prepared to play keepings off on the edge of the 18-yard box and just wait for that opportunity. It fell for Alice, who couldn't, as you said, get it onto his favoured left foot. It was prepared to play another pass and wait for it, and it went out to Way, and then Way got it back in, and he did get it from under his feet and opened up, and that was certainly goal-bound, that opportunity. And it was a great effort and an equally good save by Weir.
He only needs that little half a step. All right, Michael Weir, that is a terrific save.
Great for his highlight package.
Ball comes in, and this time Michael Weir collects again, trying to start the counter-attack. And he throws it out to Lazaridis. Hume streaming numbers forward. Can Lazaridis find the right pass? He can. Hewitt looking for Marcellus. He just couldn't take it in his stride. And that opened the opportunity for Biles to get the bowling now clear.
Disappointing there, that first touch. Marcellus let them down. That was a good swift move, and they'd managed to get it almost to the 18-yard line, but just couldn't control the ball. Very simple.
Now Alice with good body work to Zara, midfield, first time ball. Here's Alice Weir, he's off his line, he's not going to get there, and in the end the goalkeeper had to make a great tackle.
He's had a big 60 seconds Weir with the one-hand save, the big killing of the cross from the corner, and helping set off that counter-attack, and then coming out there and backing himself. And he did well, actually. It was really odds on. I thought Alice was going to skip past him and expose him, but the long legs came out.
This time Heidelberg take it short, and they go back to pace. He said those long legs really needed to come out, because Alice could have been able to use the right foot and try to go into the empty net from that range. O'Brien will find Wilkins, who just fires it across the box. In the end, it almost knocked a Hume City player over in Danny Dixon when he tried to clear it. Heavy touch sees it out for a goal kick.
Now, there was a lot of venom on that cross, and I'm not sure even if there was a forward there, they would have been able to direct that header towards goal. It certainly had some pace behind it.
We saw that with Danny Dixon once. It really got fired in across the box. He's just tried to clear it, but it's pretty much knocked him over with the force as well. Plenty of venom in that one.
Yeah, it did knock him over, didn't it? There's no forward looking to get on the end of that.
It's done well to even just get a touch there, Dixon, but we continue with Alice over the top. It's into the path of Zara. What can he do there? One-on-one with his defender, trying to cut it back. Noon just shifts it, and now it's back post, and they get their second goal. In fact, the flag's gone up against Cahill. The flag really did go up late.
It did go up late. I think the linesman composed himself and just wanted to make sure.
Well, George, you've got the iPad out in front of us, which we'll have the replay. We've got a few Heidelberg fans scamping across to us to see.
You call it an iPad, I call it a monitor.
As we wait to see where Cahill was positioned. He's gone too early. He's offside.
He's offside.
He's offside.
Definitely offside. Good call, linesman.
And a few of the Heidelberg fans still shake their heads as they have a look on the screen.
Off.
So he was offside. It's a fairly tight hole. He did start onside. The Hume player did set up. And when he moved forward, that put Cahill in that offside position. But lucky break for Hume City.
And that's good. And the linesman just took that split second, to clear his thoughts. But he got it right. Someone should send him down a message just for his confidence. Well done, son.
So a couple of big decisions in Hume City games the last couple of weeks, which the lineman has gotten perfectly correct. So Heidelberg continue their dominance here in the second half. O'Brien to Noon. And into the channel for Alice. Goes back on that left, near post. Hume try to get it clear. Once again, it's Noon who tries to shoot himself. In the end, Dixon gets it clear. Mark Callis, can he find the right pass? Well, here's one for Dulwich to chase. It will bounce. Can he use his body against pace? He can. The ball finds its way to Brown. And now Dulwich turns back inside. Turns into trouble. Ball finds Hewitt. And Hume will try to move things out on the left-hand side with Sweet. The 1-2. Back post, cross, pace, well positioned. And the dominance in the air continues for Heidelberg, but Bowler gets it back and Lazaridis clips it in. Heidelberg clear it. Wilkins has time to chest it and then in the end just clears it out, but in fact it will just get over the line. And good opportunity for Hume there on the counter-attack. But
yeah, Dulwich did well with the bouncing ball, that long ball out by Marcellus, which was just really an up and under. And he managed to get his body in and then use Brown as his support. And from that, they managed to get a few crosses in. Sweet's cross was a beauty, but just excellent positioning by pace. But the second one from Lazaridis was probably from an angle that needed an inch-perfect pass, and it just wasn't what they could muster at that point. It was disappointing, that last one from Lazaridis. Not so much the ball, but just the angle that he was trying to get there.
Well, Hume City do make a second substitution with Theo Marcellus withdrawn, and youngster Umut Buzdugan has now come on for Hume City. He did make his debut last year against Richmond in the Cup and managed to score in that game where Hume City, for the first time, were actually knocked out of FFA Cup qualifying. Now it's Hewitt. Over the top. Will find its way through. Dulwich. Buzdugan fires it out wide. It just evades Ochang. Forced him wide, but he's still able to keep it in. Trying to cross it into the back post. Sweet won't be able to get there. Theodorides uncontested is able to collect.
Nice and easy for the keeper.
So, Theodorides. Once again, Dixon is out-muscled by Cahill, who plays it through to Zara. Zara's onside. Zara shoots, and Weir once again makes the save. From point-blank range, it was fired straight at him. He got the hand up quickly and was able to tap it over the top. But Cahill making a nuisance of himself again, and once again gets the better of the one-on-one battle with Danny Dixon.
And no surprise there, but once Zara was through, the defender that was running alongside him was prepared to run and wait and not slide in, which kept the pressure on Zara and really forcing him into an unbalanced shot. And it was a good height for the keeper. The keeper had to make a save, but it was at a good height.
Now it's another Heidelberg corner. Killed by pace, and he's going to give it back for another chance to cross it into the box. In fact, they go to Noon. Reverse pass. Here's pace. Hume get it clear. The only pass that really got is up the line for Dalic, who holds the ball up well. And then he just overran it. Caused a problem, but in the end, Hume get it back. Dalic will have another chance. And in the end, can't find a teammate, Heidelberg. Ball stays alive. Now Harry Noon's got time to find Sean Ellis. Scotsman clips it over, looking for Cahill. It's definitely not playing to his strengths. Danny Dixon will win that battle. And the ball deflects out for a throw for Hume.
Didn't really give him much chance, that pass from Ellis to Cahill. Asking a lot.
So once again, just quickly, Heidelberg, as we know, a 1-0 over Hume City here at the moment, with Paul O'Brien's goal separating the two sides. Thunder still leading Altona Magic at Paisley Park by 2-1, and Port Melbourne is still 2-0 up against Pascoval. All these games 6 o'clock kickoff, so around the similar time between the 65th and 70th minute, as the ball goes to the back post. In the end, it somehow managed to stay in play. It's Lucas Derrick once again with that trickery. It's good to see him back in full flight into the box. Cuts it back. Here's Cahill. Can he swivel and turn? He can't. Hume City get it clear. But Lucas Derrick, after coming back from a serious ACL injury, you see the confidence of the youngster now running at defences.
Yeah, well, it was a really hopeful cross in by Ellis with the right foot, but Hume didn't handle it. It went up past the keeper, and Ochieng let it run, and which gave Derrick the chance to get on the end of it, and then he was happy to take the guys on, and like you said, a bit of trickery, and there was even appeal there, or half a shout for a penalty for the holding, but the referee wanted none of it. But good work again by Heidelberg, but they've got to clear their lines, Hume.
And in the end, a little bump there from Dixon in the back of Zara. The hands go up from George Katsakis, but referee Adam Bavkar waves away any penalty decision. Now Hume through Sweet, and now Hewitt. They found James Brown. And he's forced to go wider and wider, and couldn't win Hume City the throw. James Brown, the only change in this side, where young Thomas Harris, who started the cup game, is onto the bench, and James Brown into the squad. James Brown missed that game with a very bruised toe and a challenge against Altona just after half-time, so to recover. They're also missing Harry Monaghan, who's had a bit of a leg problem the last couple of games. Couldn't pass a late fitness test to be involved, the captain for Hume. We know that Heidelberg have had their injury problems. Got Petrie suspended, and Lewis Hall, unfortunately, with an ACL injury. Les Dumbala scratched from the squad today as well.
As you get into the season, you're going to have injury suspensions, and the depth of the squad certainly going to help the stronger teams, isn't it? But it's going to test your squad anyway, that sort of thing.
Well, Hume City looked like George Howard suffered a hamstring injury against Altona last week. Again, he's the one who missed the cup game. He's on the bench, so he's an option for Hume City. The ball's now with Theodorides. Wilkins to play it over the top. Another one for Cahill to head on towards Zara. Tennant. Neat turn by the youngster. In the midfield, Bulsdugan almost loses out. Has to slide in and win it back. Now Hume go over the top. Will it stay in for Lazaridis? It won't. In fact, Lazaretti's tried to play it off the fourth official then and keep going, but in the end the throw goes back to Heidelberg.
It's a wall pass. 1-2.
To their indoor football.
That's the one. Again, Kale winning the header off that long clearance from Wilkins. And when Heidelberg have got a little bit of possession and ascendancy, Zara tends to play a lot more forward, so they're almost playing off each other. The old two centre forward type situation, little and large, and it causes havoc for the defenders because they don't know how to mark Zara because he's in those gaps, and Kale's winning the headers, which they're struggling to deal with, so that between the two of them they're causing headaches out there.
That's another ill-directed pass from Hume, but that's one thing that George Katsakis does do. Once Cahill starts having that dominance in the air, they push Harry Noon to central midfield and let Zara get in behind him so he can use that pace in front of Cahill.
Zara's effectively playing as another centre forward there, and they work well together, and that's when they have that ascendancy, like I said, and they've got a bit of possession, and it's hard for the opposition because they don't know, does a midfielder track back and take care of Zara? Does the defence take care of him?
Well, this time it was Dixon to get it clear. In the end, it's Alice with the right foot trying to clip it to the back post. Weir will put those big mitts up and collect and start the counter-attack with Otchang.
He's very good at starting the counter-attacks, Weir. As soon as he gets it, he's off and running and ready to distribute, and he launches a lot of their attacks.
Hume City once again snuffed out by another block or a clearance from Heidelberg. They've been really sloppy in possession this second half. And now it's Noon. Ball forward, and in the end it's going to go out for a throw. It will be a Hume City throw. You see the confidence, even within a game, just be zapped from this Hume City lineup. And now they move it forward with the ball to Sweet. Making the run in the channel is Brown. Stephen Pace pulls up, and now we'll try to prevent him from getting the cross into the box. Goes back to Sweet. Left foot delivery. Biles gets it clear. Now back for Dixon. Buzdugan into the path of Brown. That's when he thought he was going to strike on goal. Harry Noon got there and covered that. So now Hume back out with Sweet. Goes short, Lazaridis. First time ball into the box, Brown. Try to find Sweet, who might have been in an offside position anyway, and now Bowler. And now Tennant. Heidelberg now press back up. Hume now have to try to build up from the back. Heidelberg be making their first substitution soon with Katanos. Hume City, in fact, it's going to go to Heidelberg this throw. And Ruben Way is in no speed to take this because the substitution, I believe, will be made. They're trying to get the attention of Bavkar, they do. So Sean Ellis will be withdrawn. And Catanios will come on.
I think that's more an injury thing, isn't it? He doesn't seem to be too happy that he's coming up, as in not because he's sub, but he seems to be in some sort of distress or some sort of injury. And he's been having a good game. He's been getting balls in, as you'd expect, so he's been a part of it, and he's going straight into the dressing room, so I'm pretty sure that's an indication. It might be time for the ice.
Oh, we hope that it's only minor. One of the most talented and entertaining players in this league to watch is Alice as the ball finds its way to Weir. So Heidelberg with one substitution, Hume with two. The big story was Paul Wilson early in this game with a head knock from the knee from Michael Weir as he come out to collect the ball. In the end couldn't continue and was replaced by Danny Dixon, and Theo Marcellus withdrawn about 10 minutes ago from Umut Buzdugan, and that Heidelberg change just then with Sean Ellis making way for Anthony Katanos. So Heidelberg get it back from what was another sloppy pass from Hume, and Heidelberg are the masters of controlling games and turning them into victories. I must admit I was pretty surprised that Green Gully were able to get that equaliser a couple of weeks back, because normally that's the situation that Heidelberg just don't give up. It's not often 10 minutes or so to go that they give up a lead.
There was the missed penalty as well.
Theodoridis did have his opportunity to win the game.
Yeah.
We've seen a few of those, basically the last kick of the games in the last few weeks.
Adds to the drama, doesn't it?
In fact, it's Green Gully have been involved in all three of them in 3 weeks in a row.
They have. Late penalties. They've had mixed fortunes over the 3 weeks with it. Of
course, with Thurtau scoring late against the Greens, and Theodoridis missing his penalty here, and then last night Alex Salmon skying over the bar from the penalty spot in the 97th minute. It's now Hume. Get it back. Dalic. Heidelberg quick to get their numbers back behind the ball. Let's see Hume just a little bit more cautious trying to play from the back. Tennant over the top. That'll find its way to Hewitt. Hewitt fires it across the box. Lazaridis! Matthew Lazaridis was there, and it was Stephen Hewitt the first time really getting into an attacking area. Just put it on a plate, and Lazaridis slides the ball home, and Hume City get this equaliser.
Well, they've looked their most dangerous when they've moved the ball quickly from the back, and although it was a ball just straight up the line from the centre back, it did, as you said, found Hewitt in an advanced position for the first time, and his pass was inch perfect, really, across the 6-yard box. Caught the defender backtracking, caught the goalkeeper not wanting to come out. Perfect for Lazaridis to just get a toe poke in there. Hewitt, great goal.
Well, Stephen Hewitt, he's assisted most of the Hume City players this year more in that attacking position and playing that number 10. Since Theo Marcalis has gone off, he's moved into that position with Buzdugan making the spot in midfield. So Hume City, Hewitt with his first opportunities as we look as Derek fires it in, looking to try to get Heidelberg back in front. Hume get it clear. Lazaridis, Brown. In the end, can't turn his marker, and O'Brien wants to get on with it quickly. There's a little tug of the shirt from James Brown on the way through.
A little bit of experience there from James Brown.
As Noon looks to switch it. Well, Heidelberg, she said they haven't really got many home games to go. Just thought one more with, as we look from range, Catanos goes wide.
Well, it did open up for him there, and it's worth a go, but he did not get it on target. And the keeper, his body language seemed to indicate he had that covered right from the offset. So, but if it opens up for you like that, you've got to have a crack at it.
Well, they've really dropped points at home in this last little run that they've had, where they had a draw against Avondale, they lost against South Melbourne, they had a draw against Green Gully at home, and now Hume City have gotten this equaliser. 15 minutes still to go.
Game on.
Definitely game on here at Olympic Village. Once again, both these goals in this game have come against the run of play as well. Where Hume was on top, O'Brien scored, and when Heidelberg have been on top, it was Lazaridis, the second goal of the season. His pace slides in. Now the pace of Lazaridis can be used again into the path of Brown. He's blocked off, is he? No, he's not. Referee waves it away. To be truthful, Biles didn't really step in front of him. He was already in that path.
No, it was good experience defending. He didn't change his direction. He just held his ground, and Brown was looking for the free kick, I guess. But, the referee was onto it in a good position. Good, tough experience defending. That's what you want from your centre half.
Well, it's been 3 second half goals from Altona, and that's seen them take the lead against Dandenong Thunder as well. So, as Port Melbourne now just put through their third goal against Pascoe Vale. So
every week Altona Magic managed to keep surprising me. Very impressed.
Well, Pascoe Vale have conceded their third, and they've moved from in the relegation spot to the promotion relegation spot. It's amazing how things can work out like that, with Altona now taking the lead. Into the box. Cahill trying to turn. Sweet gets it clear, and Biles cannons it into Lazaridis, who's got one to chase. Theodoridis will get there first, and he'll just clear it and pass it to his opposing goalkeeper. He'll see it out for a goal kick.
There was a ricochet that nearly got Hume on the break there and nearly fell fortuitously for them, but Theodorides was reading that very well, very quickly, and he was off his line and taking no prisoners. Get the ball at the other end, no risks, especially at this late into the game.
Well, Matthew Lazaretti, since moving to the striking position with Dalic moving wide, has caused quite a few problems in the last 10 minutes.
Well, his pace is always going to cause problems for defenders, so...
It's again, Heidelberg head the ball forward. Bowler. Hit over the top. And in the end, it's going to be a Heidelberg free kick.
Clear handball there. I think he was telling ref he only used one hand, but that argument didn't work.
Well, Heidelberg, now they take it quickly. Katanos trying to get it onto his right foot. Couldn't get the cross in, but plays it to Biles. Wilkins at the back post is there. Almost found its way through to him. In fact, it's come off Cahill, and another goal kick for Hume City.
Yeah, like a bit rushed there from Heidelberg, and sending a cross in from that angle, it's really effectively a straight ball. Not giving the forwards a lot to work with. Probably got what it deserved.
Weir looking for Brown. It's headed away by Pace. Over the top. I think Cahill's onside here. Coming across his Tennant. Cahill will keep it in play. Fired it really into the belly of Noon. In the end, the cross comes in now. Weir. We've seen his distribution quickly, and in the end, just into the path of Bowler. Lazaridis. Heavy touch and a pretty poor pass. And much to the groans of the Heidelberg fans, Lazaridis gets the foul.
As the players get fatigued now, and Lazaridis' pace is still going to cause people problems. He's quick, he's nippy, he's going to knock the ball past people. It's going to force errors. They're either going to foul him or they're going to let him through. So he's going to be a crucial weapon in the last 10 minutes or so, I believe, in this game. Especially, like you said, now they've moved him up to play as a 9. He could cause some problems. Can they utilise him properly?
This ball now goes out for a Hume throw. With, as you said, George Howard is one that we thought might come on and play that role, but he's now walking up to the Hume City bench and getting some instruction, so he might be a late substitution in this game. The third one for Hume. Otchain trying to cross it in. It's blocked away. And Hume get it back. Lazaridis looking for Dalic. Derek away, but heads it into a pretty dangerous area. Lucky Harry Noon was there to clip it away. And now it's back with Dixon. Hulsdugan trying to go first time, and that's easy for Theodorides.
Yeah, you could see what he was trying to do there with the big switch, but it was going to take some pass. It was almost a 30-40 yard pass there, and needed to be inch perfect and into that little bit of a breeze. Easy for the keeper.
Ball for Cahill again in the air. Deflection finds Kindly. No challenges there on Zara. He's still got it in the box. Trying to find the right pass. Derricks. And Lucas Derrick has sliced it out wide, but it'll stay in play for Heidelberg and Katanos. And in the end, that is a not so subtle shove.
Yeah. No argument there. Made the ref's job easy. But then again, a clearance by Theodorides. Cahill, a contested header, flicked on to Zara, who managed to get his body in and cause some problems there. Unfortunately, when he found Derricks with the back pass, Derrick seemed to get more of the ground than he did. I think he may have even injured himself by kicking the ground. He's left a reasonable divot just outside there.
Well, I've been trying to see Luka Ninkovic come on for Heidelberg for a few weeks now.
You've been waiting for it, haven't you?
So I finally get the chance to see him live. I'm a big raps from him. Some mid-season signing coming over from the West Australian NPL.
Well, he's got a chance to announce himself now.
Big 22-year-old striker. And Hume City needlessly giving away this set piece. Have to defend it. Look at all the numbers bunched up near the penalty spot.
Every Hume player is in the 18-yard box.
Delivery near post. Once again, too easy for Hume to clear. Biles, it falls to him on the right foot, but that's another great ball in. The header from Cahill. It goes straight at Weir. In fact, it was Ninkovic. So Lazaridis trying to keep it in play. Heidelberg get it away through Biles. He's got Theodorides. Leaves it a little short. The goalkeeper was quite skillful to get away from Lazaridis, and now play the ball out wide to Way. Fires it in. Cahill trying to turn. Hume get it back. Only momentarily though. As Ochang pass is ill-directed. Heidelberg. Into the corner. Keep it. Now for the cross that comes in. Ninkovic, and Weir is the one who comes out and collects. Hume City through Dalic. He's got Sweet in support with him. Goes himself. Look at him motor away. Does Marco Dalic. We're going to cut the ball inside. No one really there as Brown come near post.
Again, a great take from the keeper. Attacking the ball in the air. Releasing it so quickly. Starting the counter-attack. Dalic's pace was sensational. Running at the Heidelberg defence, who at this stage couldn't keep up with him. But that final pass was just disappointing.
Now it's with Hewitt. Dalic trying to turn, but Pace was able to get a touch on that, and Hewitt will see it out for a throw. Must admit, it probably looks more likely of Heidelberg getting that second goal, I thought, throughout this second half, but Hume City have had their little moments, and they've taken their chance with Lazaridis.
They do look dangerous when they're on the break, but it's really the playmaker being their goalkeeper, really. Coming early, taking those crosses, and you know, setting them off on these counter-attacks. That's when they've looked their best, when they've moved the ball quickly.
Well, after starting in the cup game against Oakley, Thomas Harris will be coming on for his NPL debut. Coming on for the hard-working Matthew Lazaridis, the goal scorer for Hume, who, as I said earlier in the game, has really been struggling with the flu the last few days, but has put in a mighty shift for Hume City, which is well celebrated by the bench.
Yeah, well done.
Now Hewitt trying to cross it in. Ball finds its way forward. Brown can't find Dalic. Now Pace. And it goes out for a throw. Just with the games that we've had last night and a few of the results so far going on at the moment, you just feel there's going to be another twist in this game.
Well, the last 3 weeks I've seen goals and penalties in the 90th, 93rd, 95th minute, so even as late as last night. So I'm expecting something to happen.
It's Katanos. Fires in Ochang into midfield. Thomas Harris with a very ill-directed clearance then. Heidelberg were able to hold on to possession and now play it over the top. It will be Way. Ninkovic making his way into the box, looking for him. It's headed away. Now Harris will get another chance. Good turn inside, but was unable to get the pass away, and he's gone down holding his head as Thomas Harris. Referee has given the foul.
Despite the protests from the Heidelberg bench and the Heidelberg crowd, it looked like a clear foul to me.
Thomas Harris slow to pick himself up, as Ninkovic was the one coming back to try to make the challenge against the youngster. And in the end, just got a little bit of a shoulder to the head.
Shoulder to the head, yeah. Referee was close enough to see it.
It's one of those ones where the height difference between the two.
Yeah. Yeah, there certainly wasn't any malicious intent, but there was a foul there.
Hume now through Dixon. Hewitt around the corner.
Good touch.
Just couldn't find Sweet with the pass, but we've seen a little bit of talent from the young Thomas Harris. He put in a good shift for almost an hour in the cup game. Hume play it long. They've got a bit of a counter on here if Brown can turn forward. In the end, fighting for it. And in the end, the ball goes out for a Heidelberg throw.
Disappointing for Brown there. He just couldn't bring the ball down. It was a hard ball to bring down. His first touch on the chest actually sent it further in the air, so it gave the Heidelberg defenders an opportunity to close him down.
It's now Heidelberg to throw it back in as we get towards the final 90 minutes in this game. Wait to see what stoppage time will provide us. Is there another twist in this tale? Most sides who get a point from Heidelberg would be quite happy with that, but Hume City have got to try to bridge this gap on the front three. Destiny's really in its own hands because they've got Heidelberg, Dandenong City, Bentley Greens, Avondale and Port Melbourne in this little run. So,
but they're in form, so I think they'll back themselves, yeah? I think they're going to try and play for this 3 points.
So now it's Brown trying to roll his defender. The ball finds kindly for him. Sliding challenge. Hume still stay on the attack. There's Dalic. Heidelberg haven't been shy with the sliding challenges. Now how's the delivery from Hume into the box? It was pretty dangerous, but in the end Heidelberg get it clear as Cahill just throws his boot at everything. Ochang evades a few challenges, gets inside the box. Hume, in the end, it gets cleared again by Heidelberg. Dixon.
Sustained pressure here by Hume.
Now Sweet clips it in. Biles off the top of his head. Chance for Hume off the post. And the follow-up is in. Hume City get the goal. In fact, the foul has been given Adam Bavkar. As we wait to see what the decision is. Goal has been given.
The goal, he's given a handball.
So Hume can now celebrate. Hume City, I said there was going to be a twist in this tale, and Hume City have taken the lead late in this game with some real sustained pressure. It was Dalic on the first time, it come off the post, and then it was in by Mark Ochang for Hume City off the crossbar. Adam Bavkar gave a yellow card for a handball in there as well, but Hume City celebrate. They've got themselves the lead here as we go in towards extra time.
Well, there's that late twist that we were calling for, but like you said, on the back of that sustained pressure, Hume were taking it up to Heidelberg. They weren't happy with the point, and should I say it, Sweet hit in a sweet cross with his left foot, and Biles didn't handle it too well, which gave them the opportunity. They were lucky with the rebound, but you take your chances, and that's what it's all about this game. And they were certainly looking for it and going for it. So congratulations for at least playing away from home and just not saying, well, we're happy with our point now. We're going to take it to them. And attacking soccer, get your chances.
Well, Heidelberg never say die. And that attitude has seen them become champions over the last couple of years.
What have they got now? We'll find out.
So Hume City do have the second best defensive record in the league. Going to need every bit of that to try to hold on late, but they might go and get themselves a third with Brown's cross. Back post, Dalic slips over. Wilkins keeps it in. Dalic picks himself up. Wilkins keeps going forward. Dalic holds him back, and he'll be quite happy to take the yellow card for that.
Yeah, professional foul. Just this late in the game, you've got to take one for the team. Slow the momentum.
Well, a couple of minutes still to go in this one. Theodoridis will get ready to take this. Heidelberg, with that aerial dominance they've had all game, throw the ball up towards the edge of the box. It gets inside the box. Ochang, in the end, clears it out for a throw.
They didn't deal with it aerially at all there, did they, Hume? It found its way through. Ochang was happy to clear his lines, but you think there's going to be some crosses come in now.
Biles, bowler away. Katanos, edge of the box. And now they cut it back to Stephen Pace. Delivery comes in. Weir will just harmlessly see that over the top and out for a goal kick.
Disappointing at this stage. And he didn't have to rush that, really. He could have probably taken another touch. But
as we see, the ball boy was quick to, well, the ball man was quick to get the ball to try to get back to Weir, but Weir was quite happy to move all the way as close as he possibly could to him. And now make his way back onto the pitch to restart the game.
There should be no rushing on Hume's part at this point of the game.
As we are in the final minute of this game, can Hume City hold on? If they do, dare I say it, they are well and truly in this title race.
Yeah, and they're the form team, aren't they?
And as Hume look for their 6th win in a row in all competitions. But what has Heidelberg got on offer late in this game? In the end, they've given the ball up cheaply. Ball into the channel. Brown. He'll just go towards the corner. So Pace is trying to get the ball back. In the end, it goes out. It will be a goal kick. So Pace will get the ball back to Theodorides as quick as he can. Is there going to be a late chance here for Heidelberg? Everyone moves forward. It's Harry Noon. In the end, Hewitt has to confront him. Ball's passed forward. Sweet. Into the path of Noon. The challenge comes in from Hewitt. And the referee now blows full time here at Olympic Village. It is a boil over. Hume City come from a goal behind to get 2 second half goals through Matthew Lazaridis and Mark Ochang. And Hume City now are well and truly in this title race. It is their 6th win in a row in all competitions. And Hume City, who have a good record here at Olympic Village over the last 4 years, get another victory here, and it is Hume City 2, Heidelberg 1.
Entertaining game, Chris, it really was, and I think Hume finally got the reward at the end for what they were doing in the first half, but they were courageous. They were prepared to continue backing themselves, and they were going for the win. And even at 1-1, you'd almost take that 1 point away from home against Heidelberg. They weren't prepared to, and even though they were under the pump, they were prepared to attack when they could, and they got the reward for it. And really, it was an entertaining game to watch, end to end. Really good game.
So it is Hume City with the victory at Olympic Village. Heidelberg have really dropped points in their last 4 home games here, with draws against Green Gully, Avondale, losses against Hume City and South Melbourne. They only have 1 more home game to the end of the year. That's in 2 weeks' time against Oakley Cannon. So if they're going to be able to win the championship again, or the premiership again, Heidelberg, they're going to have to do it on the road, which is a difficult task. This experienced squad can do it, but this loss tonight has really tipped things on its head a little bit for Heidelberg.
They're going to be challenged, aren't they? This is really going to set them a new challenge for the remainder of the season. And like you said, all the away games that they've got to... Like I said to you a couple of weeks, I think they're up to it, and once they get on a roll and get used to playing away, they'll be fine. But it certainly will be a challenge for them. But it'll be interesting to see now, can Hume continue with their run, and can they push into that top 3? Because certainly the momentum and the confidence and the results are going in their favour. So I would really be interested to see if they can keep pushing, because a strong Hume makes for a strong NPL. So certainly that's the good news from tonight.
Well, that's it. It's full time here at Olympic Village. It is Heidelberg 1, Hume City 2. My name is Chris Gleeson, and George Kotsanis, thank you so much for joining me again in commentary.
Been a pleasure, mate. Always good to work with you.
All right, thank you, and everyone enjoy the rest of their nights. Thank you and goodbye.